Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, if you're watching this, you've probably promised yourself 100 times that you're finally going to start an Amazon FBA business. But let me guess, you're completely paralyzed. You've been watching hours and hours of content, and every so-called expert out there has a totally different, conflicting strategy. It is exhausting, isn't it? Well, as we dive into this source material today, I'm putting on my business coach hat to help you cut through all that noise, clear the confusion, and focus on what actually matters.
And you know what? Drowning in that information overload is exactly where most people just give up. You dive down the rabbit hole, and the more you search, the more confused you get, right? It's just endless fluff and untested theory. But we are ending that right now. Today, we're unpacking a strict, actionable 4-step playbook based entirely on what the data shows actually works for 2026. We are cutting the theory completely out of the picture to get your first product selling fast without wasting a single minute of your time.
So, here's our progressive playbook for today. Step 1, finding the right product. Step 2, analyzing the data. Step 3, locking down reliable suppliers. And finally, Step 4, scaling your business. Let's get right into it.
All right, Step 1, the right product.
Let me be absolutely clear about this. Without a solid, profitable product, your Amazon FBA success is, well, it's basically impossible. It's the engine of the whole operation. But don't let that freak you out. The data shows us that thousands of viable products exist right now, and new opportunities pop up on Amazon every single week across all categories. Basically, you've got 3 main paths here. First up is arbitrage, which is just a fancy word for retail flipping. Think about grabbing newborn nappies on clearance at a local store and flipping them on Amazon for a profit. Second is wholesale. This is buying branded stuff in bulk directly from brands or wholesalers, like getting massive packs of a popular acne cream to drive your cost per unit way down. And third, private label. That's when you go to a supplier site like Alibaba, buy something like fitness bands, and slap your own logo on them.
Now listen closely. As your coach here, I want you to focus entirely on arbitrage and wholesale for your very first launch. Why? Because you're tapping into existing, proven demand. There are absolutely zero marketing costs. These products are already flying off the virtual shelves. You don't need to run Amazon ads or build a brand from scratch. Private label? Yeah, that requires building your own listings and burning real cash on marketing to get noticed. For beginners, we want the path of least resistance. Let's get some quick wins under your belt with stuff people are already searching for and buying every single day.
Okay, 30%. Seriously, burn this number into your memory. This is the absolute golden rule of Amazon FBA. When you're out there sourcing those arbitrage or wholesale products, do not, and I mean do not, settle for anything less than a 30% minimum return on investment or ROI. Honestly, it doesn't matter what category you're looking at because literally everything sells on Amazon. What actually matters is that your profit margin justifies your hard work and gives you a nice cushion if prices fluctuate slightly.
Let's break down the exact math so you can see how ridiculously straightforward this is. If you're spending £10 to purchase a unit of inventory, hitting our 30% rule means you need a bare minimum of £3 in pure profit when it sells. That brings your total return to £13. That £13? That's your absolute baseline. It ensures you're actually growing your capital and covering annoying little surprises like shipping bumps or minor fee adjustments. It's a super simple formula, but sticking to it religiously is what separates the actual seasoned pros from the people who are just treating this like a hobby.
And hey, this isn't just theory. We've got a real-world example right from the data. Imagine grabbing a product for just £3.10 and selling it on Amazon for £13.80. After fees, you're looking at a massive profit of almost £5 per unit. Guys, that's an ROI of over 150%. Your local bank gives you, what, maybe a fraction of a percent? 150% is an absolute game changer. But, quick warning here, a very crucial caveat to protect you. You absolutely must make sure there are more than 3 existing sellers on that listing. Why? Well, if there's only one, it's highly likely a private labeled product, and jumping on their exclusive listing will get you slapped with an intellectual property claim so fast it'll make your head spin. Always look for a healthy, competitive crowd. Moving right along to Step 2, analyzing the data.
Listen, going entirely by your gut feeling is a fast track to disaster. If you do that, you'll end up with boxes of inventory just sitting in an Amazon warehouse, collecting dust and literally draining your bank account through monthly storage fees. You need to validate your choices with hard, cold numbers. You must manually run 3 strict checks on every single product before you buy. Number 1, check the best sellers rank or BSR. You want this number under 100,000. A lower number means it's actually flying off the digital shelves. Number 2, keep the weight under 2 pounds. Heavy products mean brutal FBA shipping fees, which will totally chew up that precious 30% profit margin we just established. And number 3, verify it is non-seasonal. The source gives a brilliant example. Say you find these awesome Christmas reindeer decorations. Pop that into Google Trends, and you'll see a massive spike in December and dead silence the rest of the year. We want year-round, consistent cash flow.
All right, climbing the ladder to step 3, reliable suppliers.
Finding the product is great and all, but sourcing the cheapest, most reliable supplier is where the real business work begins. Your supplier is basically your true business partner. If they fail, you fail. So you basically got 2 camps to choose from here. On one hand, large suppliers, they have incredibly strong systems, guaranteed reliability, and serious backup plans if global supply chains get weird. But hey, do not ignore the small suppliers. Smaller wholesalers are highly flexible. If you become one of their main buyers, you build a really tight relationship. I mean, they might process rush orders for you after hours, or even hold stock specifically for your business so you never run out. Both have a huge strategic place in your playbook depending on where you're at in your growth.
Now here's a massive insider coaching tip straight from the source material. Pick up the actual phone. Seriously, don't just hide behind your keyboard blasting out generic emails like everybody else. Once you've Googled local wholesalers or distributors in your country, actually dial their number. Speaking to them physically builds a much faster, far better connection than text on a computer screen ever will. Business is still fundamentally about human relationships, you know? A quick 5-minute phone call can negotiate a price drop, waive a minimum order quantity, or unlock stock that an email literally never ever would.
Which brings us to our final step. Step 4, scaling your business.
So you've got sales coming in, right? But suddenly, you hit this massive bottleneck. It's the classic one-man army trap. You start making a few thousand a month, and all of a sudden, you're spending all your waking hours physically packing boxes in your living room to send to Amazon instead of actually growing the enterprise. You've basically just become an overworked employee of your own company. To break out of that trap, you must learn smart delegation. Figure out what's sucking up the majority of your time, which is almost always packing and prep, and delegate that first. Yes, you have to pay someone, but you take that freshly freed up time and use it to source more products. Sourcing is the actual engine of expansion here. More products equal more revenue streams. Oh, and learn from someone who's already been there. Whether it's finding a mentor or studying successful sellers, leveraging someone else's experience helps you completely sidestep the costly failures they've already endured.
Now, this requires a very strict long-term mindset. You need to recycle the money within your business rather than taking profits out. As a coach walking you through this data, I have to give you a harsh but absolutely necessary truth right now. If you are starting this venture with £2,000 to £5,000, you are not pulling a salary from this anytime soon. You must reinvest every single penny of profit right back into buying more inventory. You have to snowball your capital. With Amazon, the more money you spend on buying profitable products, the more money you make. You're going to have to temporarily starve your lifestyle in the beginning so you can feed the business and let it grow massive later.
So let's take a step back and look at the whole picture. You now have the exact playbook for 2026 right in front of you. Finding the right product, validating it with hard data, securing reliable suppliers over the phone, and intelligently scaling your operations by reinvesting your profits. So, I have one final provocative question for you. What is actually stopping your first launch? It is time to stop endlessly watching videos, stop second-guessing yourself, and finally put this 4-step framework to work. The playbook is now in your hands, but the execution, that is entirely up to you. Take action on your Amazon FBA